not at all. The first quarter growth of 6.7%, if you disaggregate the data, you will find that consumption is 7% plus, I think 7.4% or so, compared to the previous year's this first quarter, it was around 4.5% or so. So consumption has picked up. Consumption, investment, industries, services, all sectors are growing at more than 7%. Agriculture, the growth was about 2.2% or so in the first quarter, but that was the, that is the, we were going into the monsoon. There was slightly delayed start of the monsoon. Monsoon has been very good. Agriculture will pick up. Construction sector has recorded a growth of 10% plus.
Yeah.
So therefore, all segments, all components of GDP growth are, the momentum is very strong. The only element, the only component which slowed down was government expenditure, both central government expenditure as well as expenditure of the state governments, perhaps due to the fact that that was the election season in India. So going forward, I would expect the budgeted amounts will be spent by the central and the state governments, and then they will be able to catch up. So we are quite confident about the 7.2% growth which we have projected in our current year's assessment. And interestingly, international agencies like the IMF and the World Bank, which had earlier projected, they have upgraded. They are all at 7%.
That's right.
And they have done it recently.
Yes.
World Bank done it about less than a month ago. IMF did it about just about a month ago or so. So they have now increased it to 7%, and we have given 7.2. So we are reasonably confident that the 7.2% growth will be achieved this year, because the underlying momentum is very strong and is not driven by some seasonal factors or some one-off factors. The growth momentum in India is very strong, and it is primarily attributable to structural factors. It is mainly the structural reasons which are driving growth, and in that I would like to include the growth in the infrastructure, physical infrastructure, the roads and the other network, growth in digitalization, growth in the fintech space, growth in, or for that matter, let me talk about the investment climate. Government capex has been strong, continues to be strong. There are clear signs of private capex picking up now. It has happened in a few sectors already, and our interaction with the banks and our survey of industries shows the investment intentions on the part of the private sector are also very strong. So these are structural drivers. These are very solid drivers, which I think gives me the confidence to say that this year we will achieve 7.2%, and I think overall India's growth story will be intact for for the years to come.
For the years to come, because for India being the world's fastest growing major economy, everybody outside of India is thinking about what the long-term growth trajectory of India would look like. You said India's long-term potential is 7.5% or more. I wanted to understand that a little bit more from you, Governor, because China at its peak was going at a run rate of 10% for many years. What is a sustainable, healthy, consistent growth rate for India over the next 5 to 10 years, let's say?
You see, difficult to say at this moment. 10 years, I will not like to venture into that. But I think in the medium term or in the next few years, India's growth rate, as I said, it's 7.5%. with upside possibilities. Some more reforms which I think one expects them to be undertaken, and I think that is already a work in progress. And I said 7.5% earlier today on a conservative basis as India's potential growth. So I think a 7.5 to 8% growth will not pose sustainability concerns. I think it can be sustainable. But if you are looking at 10 plus growth, that one has to really, before I venture into that, I have to really do my homework much more. Today, based on the fact,
8% job creation would be adequate.
It should. I mean, it should. Job creation has been happening. It's not as if jobs are not being created. Again, that is one big debate. I don't want to enter into that now. And but today, 7.5% is potential growth. It is a sustainable growth. It can be between 7.5 to 8%, I would like to say, but on a conservative basis, 7.5.